and Shaw Floors. Visit their showroom in downtown Knoxville or the location in West Knoxville located on Kingston Pike near Pellissippi Parkway today.
What kind of day is it? It's a White Claw day. Grab a pack, grab your friends. Everything else in life can wait. Your friends shouldn't. Let's go. White Claw. Grab life by the claw. Please drink responsibly. Hard seltzer with flavors. White Claw Seltzer Works, Chicago, Illinois.
Hear that? That's the sound of your life. Perfectly imperfect. Beating in rhythm to the world you've created. But every time you drive after drinking, the music gets drowned out. Your life sounds pretty great. Don't let a buzz ruin it. Buzz driving is drunk driving. Don't drive buzzed. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
You're listening to FM 105.7 and AM 1340, WKGN Knoxville, and W289CU Knoxville, Fanrun Radio.
Bruce Pearl. I asked a question of the commissioner, and the answer he gave, and Bruce Pearl basically says, nobody got screwed here. As always, it's close. But he's still beating the thing that Auburn should be in. But Auburn was better than SMU in 5 out of the 7 metrics, and the numbers and quality wins aren't even close.
FM 105.7 and AM 1340, WKGN Knoxville, and W289CU Knoxville, Fanrun Radio.
Stack packed and jacked, ladies and gentlemen. Tony Basilio along with you. I got Bino Jeff Henderson here. I got Brian Hartman in the house. Boy, do we have a busy week. Absolutely crazy week out in front of you. And, gonna be wild. You guys think we ought to do a watch party for the first round? What do you guys think? As we welcome you in, I gotta talk here. We didn't have a pre-production meeting because I was on the air for 2 hours last night and kind of cooked. And Matt and I were on the other night for a couple of hours, and so here we are. Pretty pumped. Bino, Jeff Henderson, your vote. What do you think? Listener Watch Party Friday. Will people show up for that?
I think they'll absolutely show up for that, Tony. So my vote is yes.
Brian Hartman, your vote? Listener Watch Party Friday?
Can I say no? Just to be dissenting?
I mean, you know.
Hey, by the way, I won't be here, so, I'm voting on something.
You're the caller hater. Yeah, Maury's in for you Friday. Yep.
What an upgrade that is. How'd you pull that off?
I mean, I don't know. I have connections, I guess.
Yep.
All right, let's talk about it. Tomorrow night, Miami of Ohio. You know, this got by me yesterday, live on the air, that's Ray Mears' alma mater. Shame on me. Because I knew that.
Didn't think about it either, Tony. Didn't think about it during that run they were having.
Shame on me. And Ray Mears played basketball there. He wasn't the greatest player in the world, as he will tell you. We were in a group text with former Vol great Rodney Woods, who listens to us, and he was sharing that, it's not always, it's the guys that aren't the best players that make the best coaches. Bino, the stars aren't good coaches.
No, it's almost never the best player that's a good coach. They haven't grinded through as many issues as average players.
So right. What you're saying is Stephen Pearl might be a pretty good coach one day.
Oh, no question. I mean, look at his father. He was a mascot. He wasn't even a player. He was a mascot, and he approached the game that way. Still does. But let's focus on our task at hand here. I sure hope that B.J. Edwards plays. Now, there are people in Tennessee's camp that don't know if he's going to play. I think these teams right now, Bino, are all saying that all our guys are going to play like Duke's doing it. They're all doing it. You got to act like you're going to be at full strength simply because, first of all, you don't want to show the committee any weakness. That's the new thing now. That's what I'm understanding. That's the new thing now. And I don't know whether that's the case with B.J. Edwards or not, and if Duke's doing it, but apparently that's the new rage now, which I guess makes sense, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. I certainly hope B.J. gets to play. Quality young man, local guy. I hope he gets an opportunity to play in the NCAA tournament.
He's developed into a great defensive player. There, he's all league in the ACC on their defense team and one of their key players for SMU. And so your thoughts and Brian's thoughts, neither of you were on our draw show last night. By the way, our selection show will come up when we conclude today. It's about 90 minutes long. Matt was in here. Maury was in here. And Lee stopped by, Tennessee Lee, and they kind of broke it down. And C was at a friend of his birthday party, so he couldn't get free because he was supposed to come by and visit with us. But he's going to jump on this week and revel in the madness that is March Madness with us. But it is such a great, great, fun time. Truly, truly awesome time of the year. This is really wonderful. The festivities get underway tomorrow, 6:40 Eastern Time, as Maryland, Baltimore County takes on Howard. And then at 9:15 tomorrow evening, Texas takes on North Carolina State from the play-in round. And the following night, it's Prairie View against the Engineers of Lehigh. And then at 9:15 Eastern, a game we will maybe do a Garza Law basketball overtime after it if Bino consents. Miami of Ohio against Southern Methodist University. The winner advances to Philly. Tennessee thought they were going to be in the night session, as a source told me yesterday. But it ends up they put them Friday afternoon, which is really odd. It's really odd for them to seed your play-in winner that way. I'm just looking down at the card on Thursday, and on Thursday night, the play-in winners go in the 7 o'clock and 7:25 window. But on Friday, the play-in winner Tennessee's play-in winner goes at 4:15 Eastern Time. 4:15 Eastern Time. And so I don't know what that's about, but I think that's an advantage, guys. A few-hour advantage. What do you all think?
I think the last time Tennessee was once involved as the play-in winner, having to play the 6 seeds, they've been on both ends of those. I think that year they had to play their Friday game in the afternoon, maybe the second afternoon window.
I think that's right, Brian. It's a pretty good memory by you. But in recent years, they've been staying away from that. And if you look at what they did Thursday, they stayed away from it on Thursday. We did the math. They have 36 hours. They're going to have 36 hours by the time they get to Philly before the time that game starts. Not 36 hours. They're going to hit the ground in Philly about 4 Eastern Time. That's if they get out of there at a decent hour. You think about how long it takes to play these basketball games now, 2.5 hours. That's if they tip it at 10 Eastern Time, Bino, on Wednesday night. That is a real advantage for the Vols, no matter who they play.
Yeah, I think it is, Tony. I was surprised at that as well. I figured that they would get the play-in winner would get the night slot. But that's not the way that it worked out. So I do think that's an advantage for Tennessee.
Just a really, really great sports day all the way around yesterday, marred by the managerial job that wasn't done in the Tennessee baseball game. No offense to Josh Elander, But, you know, first impressions are lasting. And for a lot of people, that was the first time they really took a look at the Tennessee product. Of course, we've been watching it every inning like sickos. But if that was your first impression and you watch that Sunday game, thank goodness for Chef Boyardee. They were on opposite the fifth major. Bino, that's some of the worst baseball managing I've ever seen in my life, to let that Krenzel guy stay out there. You could see the inning before when he wiggled out of trouble that he didn't have it. You could really see it in that. I couldn't believe they left him out there. I can't believe they let him pitch to that kid that has 14 home runs. That kid lashed that ball back through the middle like easy money. I mean, this guy had nothing. And by the way, I love the Krenzel kid. But here's the thing as a manager. Some days you're hot and some days you're not. Jerry Reed, and when you're hot, you're hot. And when you're not, I'm going to walk out there and I'm going to take the ball from you. And here's why I'm going to take the ball from you. I got to get this off my chest right now. That aggravated the hell out of me yesterday. The reason I'm going to walk out there and get the ball from you is my team's played well enough to win 2 out of the 3 games. They've responded on the road. They've come up with some key hits. I've got a 5-2 lead right now, and I got ducks on the pond. And I'll be damned if I'm going to let you pitch after you've already shown me you're leaking oil. And they leave him in there to give up a 3-run Jimmy Jack. Then they go get him. Anybody could see that kid was struggling. What in the hell was that yesterday? You have a full bullpen, and that's what you do? And by the way, to Josh Elander, I'm not saying anything about you that I wouldn't have said about Tony Vitello, because I rip him on here when it was time to rip. That is awful. Just horrendous. I hope they learn from that. It's not even you make a bad decision or whatever. That's baseball. You make the wrong decision, that's baseball. That right there, that's not baseball. That was awful. Awful. You can't do that to your guys. You can't do that to your guys. But I got that off my chest. I feel better. Bino and Bri, what'd y'all think of that coaching malpractice yesterday in that game? Because I will not cover for stuff like that. I will not, whatever the term is, sheep it up. I will not be a party to it. I just can't believe it. I couldn't. They have a full bullpen. They had a full bullpen. The other teams already pitched 5 guys. They're out there on baling wire and duct tape. The only way you could have lost that game is to do what they did yesterday. Made no sense. And there's so many good things about the baseball weekend, so many great things to take from it. I think the team's going to be fine. I hope this guy grows in that area, because he did it in the UCLA game too. When you have a relief pitcher out there, Josh Elander, please, and he doesn't have it, you or that pitching coach, Reynolds, go out there and get him. Can't do that to your people, man. Beanstar, your thoughts?
Yeah, Tony, I've often said on here, I think the hardest thing to do and the easiest thing to criticize is the way someone handles their pitching staff. Mm-hmm. Josh Elander's brand new at it. Hopefully he's going to learn. Mm-hmm. I thought, and I said going into the series that I would take one game.
Yep.
Just don't get swept. And Tennessee did hit the ball much better than we've seen them. And as you said, they got good starting pitching, and their bullpen had been good, and their bullpen had been a strength the entire season so far. But yesterday was a mistake on Elander's part. It was easy to see that the only way Krenzel was going to throw a strike was for it to be a cookie. He wasn't going to throw any pitcher strikes. He just didn't have it for whatever reason. And yes, they left him out there way too long. I wound up being somewhat disappointed that we didn't win 2 out of 3 just because of the way the game went yesterday. But I'm like you, I I saw enough good things that I believe I feel better about this team coming out of that Georgia series than I did going in.
And that's a true story because Heflin was on our Garza Law Extra Innings, which comes your way, by the way, Sunday after the Missouri season finale. Please listen in, bookmark it, get there. Those of you with YouTube, turn on your notifications. We go live this week, some of our specialty programming. But I just thought that was unbelievably bad. And here's where I'm at. People are going to be looking at this guy and going, hey, we had an unbelievably special coach. And I do believe that Elander is a very good baseball guy. I can't understand how you let that happen. I mean, I would love to know what the thought is. What in the world could you possibly have been thinking when you're a baseball guy? You've been watching baseball all your life. That kid did not have it. And he was not going to get it, by the way. He was not comfortable out there. I don't know if it's the rain or the spot or he just woke up and he didn't have it. But his velo was down 5 miles an hour. They have guns in these parks. Come on, man. It was obvious. And, Bino, my thing is, look, if you win 1 out of 3, fine. You've done what you need to do in that league. But when you have the game in your hand and it's 5-0, that's a vol scar, Bino.
Yeah, it is.
It's a vol scar,
the way
man.
the game came about makes not winning the series hurt quite a bit. And I think this is a full new staff thing too, Tony. I don't think Vitello was great.
No.
As far as pitching decisions,
no.
But he had Frank Anderson who could go to him and say, "Hey, this is what we have to do." And Tony was going to do that. I just don't know with a brand new pitching coach and a brand new head coach if they've got all that kind of pieced out yet. So I'll give them some grace on that until we see this happen again.
Yeah, absolutely. But I agree with you, Bino. I saw so much fight from that team. I saw some old schoolness from them when that backup catcher let that ball hit him in the sternum on Friday night. We were in here doing a listener watch party. That fired me up, focused me, and prepared me like no other. I mean, I was absolutely jacked through the roof when I saw that. And the way those kids
they
came
took
back,
a lot more quality swings in big spots, Tony. And I know it's embarrassing what happened to Stone Lawless. But that's a really, really quality swing coming off the bench in that spot. And we hadn't been getting those. So all of that is really encouraging.
What do you think of Reynolds in that hoodie, Bino, with the hoodie pulled all the way up?
Well, I
looks like
I know a guy in the audience that
he looks like a character off
a little bit.
He looks like a character off a Christmas Story.
Yeah. I mean,
what is he going for?
That seems like a minor thing, but I'm an old school guy. I don't want my pitching coach going out there with his hoodie pulled.
It's 75 degrees. I mean, what are we doing?
It was raining, though, Tony. It was raining.
You can't get some hair. You can't get some water on your hair. I sit in the park when it's raining and know I'm going to change strings. I sit there and play music in the rain. Let the rain hit you. It feels good, man. Let it wash you away.
Well, these guys obviously aren't tough guys like you, though, Tony.
Interesting. I am so encouraged by this baseball team. So encouraged. I wish I could say the same about our basketball team heading into this tournament. I love the draw. If this basketball team was healthy and whole, I would love that draw. I would love them to maybe get to the Elite Eight with that draw. If this team was healthy and whole. Unfortunately, they're not. They're ground into fine powder right now, and I don't know how we get it back. I hope when the second season begins that, again, we're washed anew and ready to roll. I really hope wish that was the case. But this baseball team, man, I'm going to tell you a first-person story that yesterday when Will Heflin hit the airwaves, he was like in shock. And here's why. First of all, he hasn't been in here in a year, so I've got to kind of help him with the controls for the first couple of weeks. Then he'll just come in here and turn this thing on and do the show. But yesterday we were sitting in here. He got here in like the bottom of the 7th. So we sat here and watched a game together, and we both couldn't believe. And as he said, you got to get your relief pitchers out of there. You just got to. You just got to. That's a non-negotiable. He said when guys don't have it, he said there'll be times I didn't have it. You want your coach to come get you. You're not going to have it every time you take the mound. And last time I checked, Tennessee doesn't have any Hall of Famers out there like a Trevor Hoffman or somebody that's going to wave you off. They don't have any of those guys. So you go get them. These are college kids. You go get them. I think I've made that point, Bino. Tony asked me one time when I was riding him about one of these deals, that game with Alabama one year. He goes, how many times you going to bring that up, man? Just asking for a friend. I go, I don't know, Tony. I don't know.
We will turn the horse into Alpo every once in a while.
All right, so when that Lawless guy hit that ball and threw that bat down, Will jumped up and hugged me and screamed, the magic is back, the magic is back, the magic is back. We were high-fiving each other. And we looked up and we saw that freshman was celebrating, and we could not figure out what happened. Am I alone in that? I thought we won the freaking game, Bino. Am I alone in that? I thought that was
I think everyone off the bat, Stone Lawless included, I thought we had taken the lead.
Oh, Lawless, the way he celebrated, he got just eviscerated on college baseball Twitter last night. People were having fun with him. That was one hell of a bat flip, slam down, slam your bat, exclamation point. If the ball would have cleared the fence, they might have thrown him out of the game for the celebration, Bino. The way the umpires are today. I'm kind of half not kidding. Yeah. He really slammed that bat down.
Yeah, it's an embarrassing moment for him, but it was a quality swing, and on another day it probably is gone. But
and by the way, when that ball got out,
great play by the outfielder.
It was an awesome play. He went over and got it, pulled it back in, and all right, Bino, one final thing before we go to the phones. How much World Baseball Classic did you watch last night, if any? Because I went upstairs.
Every pitch.
Did you? I went to sleep. I didn't see a pitch of it. How was it?
Oh, it was an outstanding game. In my opinion, the two best teams in the tournament played last night, and I actually think the Dominican Republic puts a better hitting lineup on the field than the United States does. But Skeens was great, and the bullpen was great. It was, 2-1 game that the only runs were scored were solo home runs on both sides. And just little things, Dominican had Austin Wells on second, and they hit a line drive that he thought that Witt might have a chance to catch, so he was going back to second. Wound up out there in the outfield, should have scored a run to tie the game. I think it was the 7th inning, but just misread it off the bat, and who could or couldn't get it. Little things in those games, but it was a really, really good baseball game.
I'll tell you this, and NECA Dave makes a good point, not to be confused with Nega Dave, but NECA Dave over on I did see the highlight of Judge throwing that seed to third base. Yeah. One of the prettiest plays in baseball is the throw from the corner outfielder when they throw it right on the button and they gun a guy down. And I mean Judge threw that thing like it was late July. His arm, he let that thing rip. I didn't see a play of it. I fell asleep. I fell asleep in the back. After doing the show, I went and did the blog. My head was spinny. I was like, you know what? I'm just going to lay down, close my eyes, and then get up and watch a baseball game. And I woke up, and it was like 3 o'clock in the morning, and it was storming here. I got woken up with one of the loud booms. Did you guys get boom booms around you? And then we'll go to the phones.
Yeah, it was a lively evening.
Did you guys sleep through
It's
it?
pretty windy right now.
Yeah, it's pretty rough. It's pretty rough around here. I'm thinking that my fellow Tennesseans have been through enough weather-wise. I'm hoping this will get out of here. For those of the uninitiated, it's no joke. It's supposed to snow here tonight. I was walking in the park yesterday. It was 75 degrees. 75 degrees yesterday, and it's going to snow here tonight.
Does the weather yo-yo like this going from summer to fall or fall to winter?
No. And you know what
I didn't
happens?
think so.
You know what happens a lot of times around here, Bri, is it'll go from winter to summer. Sometimes we don't get a spring here. It just goes winter, summer. And in Pennsylvania, that's exactly what it does. Because you'll get games, if you'll notice, you'll get games there that get snowed out. Didn't USC get their streak broken over the weekend in a snowstorm? They were playing somewhere playing a Big Ten game in the snow somewhere. Because it snows there, and in April, games get snowed out. And then you look up there, and it's all of a sudden, it just goes boom. It's like summertime. And sometimes here that happens. I got my hopes up, guys, that we wouldn't get any more winter weather, though. We had a good 3-week stretch. And here you go. By the way, tomorrow, is wreaking havoc on my voice. Tomorrow, we're going to be live playing music at Calhoun's on the River for St. Patrick's Day. So I just want to say to all my Irish friends out there, Aaron Gobralis, and Bino's a simpleton. He laughs at all the 9-year-old jokes. And we're going to come back on the other side. And G-Max Tapeworm has now entered the room. So this is going to be fun as we continue. First day of football spring practice. Matt Diskin is fired up, focused, and prepared, covering every ounce of that for you from pillar to post. And we're going to continue with more on the other side right after this. When it's time for your next move, you want to get your precious belongings from point A to point B with your peace of mind intact. That's why you need to call my friends at Gufon Moving and Storage, East Tennessee's moving legend. Gufon Moving and Storage has been helping East Tennesseans move since 1887. That's 138 years. 5 generations. That's even longer than the Dooley, Jones, and Pruitt era combined. Gufon Moving and Storage, pro movers, serving Knoxville, surrounding areas, and interstate moves too, both residential and commercial. And we'll provide you with personalized service that other corporate movers simply cannot. We know how to move all types of items. We pay careful attention to our clients' valuables. Your satisfaction as a customer is our absolute priority. As the oldest continually owned and operated family moving business in the United States, when it's time for your next move, it's Gufon Moving and Storage. And storage, it's secure and vaulted. Our newest offering of commercial storage logistics, we offer receiving, storage, and delivery services for all your business logistic needs. See more at Gufon.com. That's Gufon.com. Or check out the link at tclub.team. When it's time for your next move, East Tennessee's moving legend, Gufon Moving and Storage. Life never stops moving. And between the 30-minute commutes, daycare pickups, weekly soccer practice, Tuesday night yoga, X number of coffee runs, and that weekend trip to Grandma's, you're racking up the miles. What you need is a tire that can keep up. A tire designed for doers. A tire that's going to last. Like the exceptionally long-lasting Michelin Defender tire. With an 80,000-mile warranty and the safety and comfort you expect, you can forget all about the miles ahead and focus on getting to your destination or conquering your to-do list. Fleet Tire, I-275 exit 1B at East Woodland Avenue in Knoxville. That's Fleet Tire, I-275 exit 1B at East Woodland Avenue in Knoxville. Fleet Tire.
Inward Half is committed to the game and the memorable moments that happen in between. From the tee box to the tailgate, from the green to the big game. For the first birdie with Dad, the first big win with Mom. Friday night lights, Saturday superstitions, Sunday traditions. Fall into the comfort and unparalleled performance of Inward Half. This fall, enjoy the walk-in.
Are you tired of hiding your smile because of crooked teeth? At Knoxville Smiles, we've got the perfect solution. Invisalign. No metal, no wires. Just clear, comfortable aligners that straighten your teeth without anyone noticing. Eat what you want, smile with confidence. and see results in as little as 6 months. Call us today for more information about Invisalign, 865-539-1776, or just visit us online at knoxvillesmiles.com. Smile brighter with Knoxville Smiles.
Fanrun Radio, where Big Orange Country comes to talk sports. Start your morning off with your daily dose of talk sports with John Reed and Cody McClure from 8 to 11. Then it's Tony Basilio from 11 to 1. The Playbook with William Pattison from 1 to 3. And The Drive from 3 to 6. It's 10 hours of hard-hitting local sports radio every day.
Out-of-town law firms have been swarming into East Tennessee lately. From Memphis, Chattanooga, and Birmingham, they've stormed into the area. Wouldn't you rather do business with a local firm? You know, a true neighbor. Marcos Garza and the pros at the Garza Law Firm are just that. There are neighbors and friends that support local causes year-round. The Garza Law Firm works to serve you professionally on criminal matters, injuries and accident matters, and Social Security and disability filings. The Garza Law Firm is here for you at garzalaw.com. The Garza Law Firm. Let us help.
Start the new year with comfort and savings from Pipe Wrench Home Services. Tired of high energy bills and constant heating and AC repairs? Ready for a more efficient home? There's never been a better time to upgrade your comfort and take control of your energy costs. Upgrade your HVAC system now with Pipe Wrench Home Services and make no payments until 2027. A new energy efficient system means lower bills, fewer breakdowns, and peace of mind for years to come. And with Pipe Wrench Home Services same-day service guarantee, you won't wait to start enjoying a more comfortable home. Your comfort isn't just our job, it's our promise. Upgrade your HVAC system now with Pipe Wrench Home Services and make no payments until 2027. Schedule your free estimate today at pipewrench.com. Pipe Wrench Home Services, trusted in Knoxville, Maryville, Oak Ridge, and neighboring communities for over 20 years. Same-day service guaranteed, or the visit is free. Offer good with approved credit. Some restrictions apply. Visit pipewrench.com for details.
Hey, I'm Alan, and we ship floors on Bristol Highway in Johnson City. Are you tired of walking around on that ratty-looking carpet that you have? Well, today's your lucky day, because we have Supercore on sale for $1.79. 58 colors we're liquidating. Supercore is the best waterproof floor with a lifetime warranty. Where are you going to find that anywhere else? Nowhere, let me tell you. $1.79 lifetime warranty. Come on down to Bristol Highway on your truck and trailer and let's make a deal.
Gotta love this time of the year. Hoops here, home runs over there, and you've got to get your Tennessee on. And there's only one place, the best place to shop for your officially licensed Tennessee volunteer gear, Alumni Hall. Hands down, the best store for Vol fans. They've got the latest and greatest apparel for the entire family. Hats, man cave items, decor, and more. Get your Vols grill cover, a plate for your burgers, and of course, that chef's apron for all that outdoor grilling this spring. And accrue those rewards and watch your balance grow online or on the app. We'll see you at Alumni Hall and alumnihall.com and G to the B to the O, Alumni Hall.
It's always magnificent. Mondays on the Basilio Show, presented by our friends at Fleet Tire. I-275 exit 1B at East Woodland Avenue in Knoxville. Fleet Tire, I-275 exit 1B at East Woodland Avenue in Knoxville. And now, back to B.
Two things as we welcome you back. We're getting some football talk in the over on the YouTube channel where you can follow along. There's 175 people in there right now. Thousands more consuming the show as they go. I want to shout out my main man who listens to the program. I shout him out from time to time, Gary Sturm without a warning. His lovely daughter, Heidi, said, Dad, I'm walking to class today and I'm listening to Tony discuss March Madness. And it's like 10 degrees here. Bino, is that a smart young lady or what?
Yes. Brilliant young lady.
Yeah. Gary?
She won't be in a few more segments.
Gary says to her, she'll be like up there, studying late at night. And she'll text him and go, are you listening to the show? And he'll go, no, I'm not listening to that. And she'll be like, well, I'm listening to it. That's so cool, man. So cool.
That is cool.
Thank you, Heidi. That's awesome. Now get back to work and don't pay attention to people like Maury Hanks when they're talking college basketball. Speaking of which, and then we'll go back to the phones. Now we're getting some football chatter. People saying that G-Mac looks stacked, packed, and jacked. I don't know if I'd
G-jacked.
G-jacked. G-jacked. I mean, last year you could literally see the guy's rib cage. So let's pump the brakes on him being jacked. But I hope he can, quote unquote, grow into the position. Breaking news. Shout out to James Daniel, who survived me snapping on him and blowing him up the other day over on YouTube. James, I didn't mean to snap at you, buddy. I love you. You did urinate me off, though. So, Aiden Holloway, ranked second on Alabama's basketball team, averages 16.8 points per game. 16 points per game. Pretty good Alabama team. Involved in a traffic stop last week by University of Alabama police, according to a Tuscaloosa police spokesperson. Here's how this works, okay? So this guy was arrested last week. Brian, did he miss any of the SEC tournament?
I don't think so. Now, keep in mind, he transferred from Auburn.
Okay. That has to do with what? Was he at Auburn's campus when he got busted with $5,000?
Well, Auburn transfers. Chad Baker-Mazara was asked not to come back this year at USC, and
$5,000, copious amounts of marijuana. Apparently, Aiden Holloway, though he has pretty good NIL deals, an enterprising young man. He wanted to, that whole adage of it takes a little money to make a little money. He's doing a little reselling on the side. Some of you are, I like to resell junk. I like to go out and clear my brain with that. And he's a reseller. So he got caught with about $5,000 in cash. He got caught with some baggies. He got caught with a scale. Last week, got arrested last week. Here's how this works. Somebody in the media, you go through when you cover any kind of beat, you either get a tip or you just go through the police blotter, is what it's called. Everybody gets arrested, gets kind of put in the blotter. It's public record. So, wow, Aiden Holloway. Huh. And you call over to the university today, as several news outlets have. Bama 247 says that University of Alabama police stopped him, and he was arrested last week. Well, Bri, what do you think, man? Bond set at $5,000, Bri. What do you think? Charge of first-degree possession of marijuana and the failure to affix a tax stamp to it, Bri. Enterprising young man, Bri.
What Brandon Miller did, he didn't miss any games either. So I guess in their mind, why should Holloway?
Enterprising young man, Bino, what do you think?
Yeah, you've got to think about your future.
And what do you think Skokan is thinking as he reads that? Old Jeremy Pruitt, when he reads that story. He got to be thinking,
I'm glad I wasn't a basketball coach there.
You better believe it. He's saying to himself, texting a buddy, going, you mean to tell me they arrested him for that? Imagine how much of that went on under Nick Saban that we never heard about.
Go ahead and do your civic duty.
NECA Dave gets quoted again. He said this guy's going to get an NIL deal with the Mary Jane Candy Company. That's pretty next level. Pretty next level. Bino, do you think Aiden Holloway plays when Alabama tips it off Friday at 3:15 Eastern Time over on True TV against the Hofstra Flying Dutchman? Yes or no, Beanstar?
I think he plays unless they tell him it is preliminary that he can't travel.
Pretty next level. So 865-200-5402 is the numero dos. I love this Holloway guy. I'm for him, not against him, and he will absolutely be in uniform because he was in uniform this weekend. Oh, that's right. His head coach, Nate Oates, didn't know that he got picked up by the police. You think that, Bino? He got picked up by the police last week and played
wrong
in the
place,
SEC
wrong
tournament?
time.
Yeah, wrong place, wrong time, as Nate said. He said that after that murder, right, Brian?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Nate Oates cares.
I think Nate was in the dark. I don't think Nate knew.
Nate, no. He wouldn't have played him. Nate's a disciplinarian, man. Let's go to the phones. Bino, I think it's a very good draw. Let's get down to brass tacks here. I think it's a very good draw for the Vols if they're healthy. I just don't know how much of this basketball team is left after what we've seen here down the stretch. What do you think?
Tony, this is a guards tournament, and we've been pretty much short at guard from the jump. So I don't feel great about it. Hope I'm on here Monday saying, man, I will be happy to be dead wrong. But I'm just afraid we don't have the guard play to advance in this tournament. Enough.
Yeah, I wish I was a magical thinker. My hope is that Nate Ament can carry them. I looked at Ament on that one-day turnaround and heard what Rick Barnes said, which he said, we debated whether or not to play him today. He played 31 minutes. He looked absolutely roached on Friday. For Tennessee to get through this thing, he's got to be really good on Friday. And he's got to be really, really good on Sunday.
And I will say there's a big difference between playing back-to-back days and having a day in between. So
I don't know.
He'll always have a day in between.
Yeah, I don't know for him. I don't know for him if that's a big difference. For most players, that's a big difference. He looked pretty fried. But here's the thing. Tennessee fan, cheer for Miami of Ohio in that playing game. There's a little piece of advice for you. And here's why. Tennessee will punish them down low. Absolutely punish Miami of Ohio down low. You want Ohio in that game. You want to take a team you can bully in the first round. You'll be like an 11.5-point favorite, something like that. We don't want to see SMU. Now, we'll beat SMU just the same, but you'd rather see Ohio. Virginia, we're going to unpack this week. Virginia gives me a little hope because their resume is pretty thin because they play in a league that's you can't build a great resume in that league. I just don't see how Carey functions in that game. I think that's a game he gets bullied around in, gets kind of lost in. And the other thing that they do that concerns me, and then we'll go to the phones at 865-200-5402, and this is if we're 100% healthy. The thing that they do that concerns me is they get downhill with their guards. And as we wrote in the blog today, Tennessee was going to get that point guard who grew up in Charlottesville. He's a great player. But when they made the change to Odom, they became big spenders. And that's how this whole portal thing happens is you make these plans with these guys and then teams come in and buy guys right out from under you. Nobody could have anticipated that. But that's a guy Tennessee was going to get, and that would have allowed Gillespie to play the 2 if that would have happened. 2 things that they went to Gillespie about. They said, would you be comfortable with that if we bring him in? And he said yes. The second thing they did is when ZZ was flirting around with the idea of coming back, they went to him and said, would you be comfortable with that? And he said yes. So this Virginia team is long, and they're pretty freaking good. They're well coached. They do what they do, and their guards get downhill on you. And I'm worried about Bishop Boswell in that game as well on Sunday. If Virginia gets through their first round game, you never know. Bracket could open up for us. Bino, does Virginia concern you when you look at where we are right now? Is that kind of what you were saying before?
Yeah, they do. They concern me. They've got that. I can't bring up his name, but they've got a rim protector under there that basically I think Boozer didn't score in the first half.
That's right.
The other night. So he's going to, if we can't get him in foul trouble, he's going to give us some issues. And I think they're a very efficient team too.
Yeah.
They're not going to give us a whole lot. Yeah, that's a scary game for me.
Kid had, I want to say 9 blocks against Duke. Totally had Boozer completely befuddled. Boozer's brother carried Duke the other night in the first half, but basically he erased Boozer from the game. I think Boozer ended up something like 3 for 17. It's in the blog today. If you go over to tclub.team, we broke that thing down. I'm looking at that Virginia bunch, and I'm just, the thought occurs to me that's, this is a game of matchups. Now, that said, if you look at the other teams you could have drawn on that seed line when you're a 6, the other 3s you could have seen, I think that's the best 3 for Tennessee to see. And if
Michigan State,
yep,
Illinois,
yep,
Gonzaga, yeah.
And if you project out some of the other top, if you go to that round of 16, you got the best one there. If you want to think about getting to an Elite 8, that's the best of the 4 that you could see there too. My thing is, though, I'm just looking at the Vols, and I'm just saying to myself, as it is, they have 2 high quality at this point players. Now, look, I think this kid from Pittsburgh's going to be a great player. He hurt his ankle. We talked about it, and we're the only ones, okay? Before the tournament, SEC tournament, he hurt himself late in that Vanderbilt game, a week on a Saturday. And you could see it. He was impacted by that. He was not the same player. And so I say all that to say this. I hope these guys can heal between now and Friday. And I hope they get off their feet.
Well, they're going to be off for a week, so that hopefully would matter.
I hope so, Brian. But
having to play Friday and not Thursday is a huge deal, I think.
865-200-5402. I mean, this, and Barnsley's never been a 6 seed since being here. Isn't that incredible that he's been a 5 or better? Isn't that incredible how good this guy's been?
The closest they came to a Final Four was 2010. They were a 6 seed.
Yep, that's right.
They're having to go start in the Northeast like they did that year in Rhode Island.
That's right.
And they ended up going to St. Louis to the Sweet 16, which they're going to the Midwest should they get through the first and second round this year. Chicago.
This team's just all beat up, Brian. I hear what you're saying, and I love magical thinking. I'm for it, not against it.
I'm not predicting they're going to do that.
No.
I'm just saying
There's
this coincidences.
This team's just all beat up, man. All beat up. 865-200-5402. If you'd have made me king, you would not have seen. I said, and I'm not second-guessing anybody. I'm not. But if you'd have made me king, you would not have seen my 2 banged-up players in that SEC tournament. I would have taken the Evans kid, and I'd have gotten him off his feet, and I sure as hell would not have played Ament as much as they played him. There was nothing left to him on Friday, like nothing. And Barnes even came out, honestly, after the game and said, we kind of thought about whether or not to even play him today. And by the way, if we'd have gotten it tomorrow, he was not going to play, which I love that OG honesty from him. Oh, man. Genoy says, Tony, if we get to the Final Four, you got to shave your eye. Hey, Genoy, why don't you shave your damn eyebrows? Can I hold on to the last few follicles on my head? You commodian. Let's go to the phone. Bino, should I give him 10-minute misconduct for that, or does that not rise to the level of a foul, in your humble opinion?
No, I don't think that's worthy of 10-minute misconduct, Tony.
Back to the phones. I launched on that poor James Daniel IV guy the other day. I banned him for the weekend. I just launched on him, Bino, for no reason at all. Just no reason at all. Hey, listen, I want the bracket to open up, and I want craziness to happen. We all do. But I look at us, and I'm just like, man, it's so sad how beat up we are. And I know and people say, well, everybody's a little beat up this time of the year. Okay, that's fine. As beat up as we are? As beat up as we are?
Well, Duke is missing, at least one player.
They're missing a couple key players, yeah. They claim they're going to be back. Everybody's doing that now. That's the new thing. As we said earlier, let's go to the phones.
BJ Edwards may be out.
865.
Tennessee's not the only team.
865-200-5402 if you want to get in with us. I'd love to get your thoughts. If you're a fan of another team and you want to talk about your draw, if you want to talk about what SEC team you think is going further, if you want to talk about whether or not Bruce Pearl's got a beef and they belong in over Texas, if you want to talk about the Lady Vol draw that Bino was monitoring last night, which is why he couldn't be with us on the post game, a 7-10 matchup, the winner to play on the home floor of Michigan, a team that beat the Lady Vols earlier in the year in a really strange basketball game. Brian, am I right to say that was played around a holiday weekend, or was I imagining that?
That was the very first game of the season back on November 4th. And it's interesting. Tennessee is actually favored in this game by a point.
Right?
They're favored as a 10 seed over the 7 seed.
Well, they just said they
it's
better
the
material.
lowest seed that the Lady Vols have ever had.
Brian, how you could take a payroll that's 5th in the country and coach them to a 10 seed? A 10 seed. Now that is an accomplishment. I mean, that's pretty next level, if you ask me. Imagine having that high a payroll and being a 10 seed. 10 seed. I kept looking for him, Brian, on the 8-9 line live on our draw show last night. I had it on.
Well,
and I'm going,
in a way,
not
it
in
might
LA.
be better off, although you're playing on someone else's home
you
court.
are better off.
You don't have to line up against a 1 seed like
Absolutely.
UCLA.
That's the weirdest thing, guys, about brackets, is that sometimes when you go higher up a deal, you miss. You do yourself a favor by losing a few more games. Bino, isn't that a weird thing about the whole bracket when you study these brackets?
Yeah, it is, Tony. That you could be a 6 and miss all these ones, be a 5 and have to get them if you get to the Elite 8. And unlike these other bracketologists, I'll admit when I was wrong, I was dead wrong. I had the Lady Vols playing Immaculata in the first game.
Back to the phones we go. Kathy Rush, Ed Rush, and Immaculata College. The Mighty Macs will never be forgotten by this living fan. Look it up, kids. Hello and welcome in. You're on our Monday edition.
Hey, Tony.
Hey, welcome in.
The best thing I watched, what a great championship weekend of basketball. But the best thing I think I watched was watching Rick Pitino and his Johnnies up there just put a butt spanking on that UConn team. And they're, you know what, I'm not going to use any bad words, language on your show, but you know what kind of person I think that guy is.
And you know what's amazing? You know what's amazing? They didn't move a minute off their seed line for that. But the minute Purdue won their tournament, the committee chair admitted that we jumped them a seed line for that. Isn't that kind of incredible? They didn't move them at all. They didn't move Vanderbilt at all after the weekend they had. But they moved those guys.
Arkansas. I don't think the NCAA really likes Pitino.
I think you're probably right about that. And it is their tournament. You're right. He's kind of an outlaw. You're exactly right. And you're right, Brian, about Arkansas. Arkansas wins a tournament, and they don't move at all. It's like they don't even exist. It's very strange.
And they got royally screwed with their draw as well, having to get sent out to Portland on Thursday after playing Sunday.
Is that a way, Bino, to treat the SEC conference champion?
Yeah, I guess the committee was busy during the SEC tournament and then sat down and kind of watched the finals of the Big Ten. I'm not exactly sure. That St. John's UConn thing was strange because UConn beat them by about 30-something. It wasn't too long ago.
And that St. John's bunch won the regular season in that conference as well after UConn got beat late. And then they turn around and beat them in the conference tournament, and they don't move off their seed line. I'm sitting there going, okay, well then why did we just play what are we doing here? But here's, somebody said this a second ago, Rick Pitino literally is the best coach alive in college basketball. Yes. And in my lifetime, you can have Mike Krzyzewski and you can have Bobby Knight.
Coach K is probably the only person, that you'd put above him.
Not me. Pitino's the best coach in my lifetime. And John Wooden doesn't count because he bought all his players, and that was a total ripoff and a joke. So I don't count that.
Now, you remember that team that he had at Louisville that won it? And it
was unbelievable.
They were so good.
Oh, yeah.
They could run up and down the court. I mean, they didn't get tired. That's like what Pitino said, Johnnies don't get tired. And let me tell you something, Rick Pitino coach teams don't get tired.
That night we saw them. Bino, you were with us, weren't you, when Paisan was on the bus?
I was not, Tony. I stayed behind to do the show.
That was a maul job. They mauled us that night, man. Just physically, just kind of, and it's a shame that Chris Lofton was going through what he was going through, which we didn't know about because he wasn't the same player that he had been. But, man, that team was so physical that night with Tennessee, just so physical. That's the way the guy coaches.
Yeah, he's just a hard-nosed, old-school coach. And that's the kind of basketball I grew up on in the 90s.
Yep.
And that's the kind of basketball that I prefer to watch. I'd rather watch give me a 65 to 62 game any day of the week.
Rick Barnes is your guy, man.
He has been. I don't know about this year's not been as good.
Well, it's not going to work every year. It's just the nature of the thing is you're always in flux. And again, they thought they had this point guard that we're going to see maybe Sunday if they get through their first round game. And if we get through, they thought they had him. And he's a hell of a player, man. But
you got to have your post players, locked in the whole game. And it seems like sometimes Okpara and Carey, it's like they just go aloof.
Well, Estrella does it too. He goes in and out too. All those guys, inconsistency is a hallmark of our club. I just find it remarkable that they coach this team to 22 wins. I just think that's a hell of a coaching job.
Yeah, it's not been a bad year by any stretch. Yeah. Another thing I was wanted to touch on real quick before I go is I was going to ask you your opinion on that debacle we had down in Georgia and that 5-run inning.
Thank you, my friend. Listen. I appreciate your call. If you go back and listen to the first hour, because I don't want to get all emotional about that thing again. And if you want to check my blog out over at tclub.team, I don't mince any words. That was a horrendous job of coaching. Just horrendous. And I got to do some more coaching here. Bino, do you like when Dave starts telling me that it's a Tennessee sports show and that he was doing the Z during, as if he's falling asleep during that last call? Bino, is that a correctable offense in your humble opinion, or do we let that go?
Which Dave?
Dave.
Dave was
he
producing
didn't like that
now?
we were talking about other teams. Is he what?
Is Dave's producing now, too?
Hey, Dave, Bino's right. Your ass is in timeout. You're getting a 10-minute misconduct from chatting. I will do the damn show, okay? You will sometimes call, and I'll reach for my mailbox when you do. And you are a punk and a clown. Don't tell me how to do the freaking radio show, you moron, you stooge. We come back on the other side.
Tony, I still got about a half a 55-gallon drum of red ass pills if you need a few.
As we come back on the other side, that baseball game really did me in. I was in such a good mood.
It is snowing, gentlemen.
Is it really? The whole thing urinates me off right now.
Mix.
As we continue with more right after this.
You're listening to FM 105.7 and AM 1340, WKGN Knoxville, and W289CU Knoxville, Fanrun Radio.
This just in to our our Snowbird Studios. Ladies and gentlemen, this just in. Danny White's celebration of the Everything School has been postponed for today. We continue with more.
It's the hottest postgame show on the planet. Garza Law. Fifth quarter fan reaction. Fan reaction. As soon as the final gun sounds, we're live.
Hi, I'm Jim Simpson, owner of Simpson Meats. When's the last time you grilled a really good burger or steak? One your friends still talk about. Our goal at Simpson Meats is to make that happen every time you have a cookout. All of our cuts of meats, steaks, burgers, briskets, and pork are always fresh, flavorful, and sustainably sourced. We are family owned, so we know the importance of knowing how and where your food is raised. We have been putting quality first since 1888. Visit our butcher shop off Lovell Road or online at simpsonmeats.com.
Okay, so we really need uniforms and equipment for this season. Can I trust you with that? Cool, I'll just order them online. What? Yeah, I'm going to hop online and I'm going to get them ordered. Hold up, that's not a good idea. We shouldn't just spend money on some random online retailer, okay? I mean, it seems pretty convenient. Trust me, it's a terrible idea. Let me simplify this for you. SM Athletics. Okay, how do you pronounce it? SM Athletics? They're the go-to for uniforms and equipment, whether it's for universities, high schools, youth leagues, you name it. So why wouldn't you rather go with professionals who can guide us through the process, design the perfect uniforms, and deliver the best equipment? Yeah, I guess that makes sense. What's the name again? SM Athletics. Right. It's definitely smarter to go with a company that emphasizes customer service, fair pricing, and, of course, excellent products. Exactly. So, yeah, I guess it's settled then. For uniforms and equipment for all sports, it's SM Athletics.
When a dangerous, overgrown, or storm-damaged tree is threatening your home, your car, or your family, don't risk it. Call ECR Total Landscapes, your local tree-cutting experts. From precision tree removal and trimming to emergency storm cleanup, ECR Total Landscapes has the equipment and the experience to get the job done safely and efficiently. Call today to set up your free estimate, 865-384-2012, or just go online to ecrtotallandscapes.com.
Josh Collins at Collins Insurance Agency. At Collins Insurance, we strive to ensure our customers receive better coverage along with bigger savings. Our community is important to us. We want to provide exceptional service to our customers. Anybody can provide great rates, great coverage, but can you also get great service? And hey, don't just take my word for it.
What's up, everybody? Zakai Ziegler here. My family turns to Collins Insurance Agency for the best service, coverage, and price.
So don't just go online and get some random insurance. Experience the Collins Insurance difference.
Like he said, experience the Collins Insurance difference. CollinsInsuranceTN.com. CollinsInsuranceTN.com. And hey, their Mama Zizi approved. CollinsInsuranceTN.com. Thank you to Josh Collins and Zizi.
One more thing, Tony. Go Vols.
Yee-haw! I've been hooting and hollering ever since I started betting with the VIP Play app. VIP Play has more than 200 leagues. Every bet type you can imagine. Live betting and live hosts, all with 24/7 support from real live people when you need them. Start betting better with the VIP Play app today. Don't be a better, be a better with VIP Play today.
VIP Play coming soon. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-889-9789. Must be 21 plus and located in Tennessee to bet.
Achillio here, and you know my friends at Carnes Motor Company started with a dream over a quarter century ago. I met Rob and Brian back when I still had hair, and they were working at a huge dealership in West Knoxville. But they told me back then they wanted to sell cars on their terms, and I wanted to do radio on my terms. Their terms, just like my terms, are ultimately your terms. In both cases, you're the winner. A Car Guru's National Award winner with a 5-star rating on all sites, just like our Vols. Everything about buying a car from Carnes Motor Company is no hassle. They specialize in high-quality pre-owned vehicles between the $5,000 to $25,000 range. And if you need to sell a car, they'll either buy your car or they'll help you sell it. Carnes Motor Company also has a top-notch service department. Therefore, every vehicle is rigorously inspected and serviced prior to delivery. So you're guaranteed to get a quality pre-owned vehicle every time. If you need a place for service, they've got you covered. Come be a part of the Carnes Motor Company family and tell them you heard about it from me. Online at carnesmotor.com. Oak Ridge Highway, 1 mile past the Carnes Light. Carnes Motor Company.
From the sunrise over the Smokies to the Saturday cheers at Neyland Stadium, Knoxville isn't just where we live, it's home. But let's be honest. Finding your perfect spot in a hot market can feel like a full-time job. Whether you're looking for a Craftsman in 4th and Gill, a family home in Farragut, or a view in South Knox, the market moves fast. You need more than a listing. You need an edge. And that's where I come in, Jennifer Morris with Keller Williams Realty. And I specialize in helping Knoxville buyers win. I don't just find houses, I find the right fit for your budget and your lifestyle. Ready to unlock your front door? Visit nextmovesmokymountains.com or call me at 865-694-5904. That's nextmovesmokymountains.com. And as always, go Vols.
It's always magnificent. Mondays on the Basilio Show, presented by our friends at Fleet Tire. I-275 exit 1B at East Woodland Avenue in Knoxville. Fleet Tire, I-275 exit 1B at East Woodland Avenue in Knoxville. And now, back to Boo.
TB back with you, 865-200-5402. Fired up, focused, and prepared with you. Negadave is, or Negadave rather, serving his timeout, not to be confused with Negadave, but we're going to go back to our phones. And the question is, what do you think of this March Madness? Going to be some March Madness, going to be some March Sadness. What are we going to have here? Talk to me. At 865-200-5402. Alabama gets a player arrested. He plays in the tournament. Auburn, I'm starting to think the tournament didn't even happen. Maybe it was a mirage. Arkansas wins the tournament, like Brian says, and they get an absolute screw job of a draw. And, Brian, you were talking off the air about just how bizarre that is. It's like it didn't even happen.
Yeah, they have to go out west of Portland, and they play a Hawaii team in the first round.
Yep.
But if they get through that, they've got to really – the Wisconsin, that's a potential second-round matchup for them, and that won't be easy at all.
Yep.
The other teams in that region, the 3 seed is Gonzaga. Yep. The 2 seed is Purdue, and the 1 seed is Arizona, who many think they're the favorite to win the whole thing.
Bino,
and
if
Arkansas just gets to the Sweet 16, that's a hell of a – I mean, I think that's a good accomplishment for them. And I think Arkansas is really talented. I think they could go a long way in another it was a better draw.
Totally agree with that. Matt was saying yesterday they're the team in our league that you could really see. Them and Florida are the two teams you could really see making a run at this thing. Bino, would you agree that while they're in the Rose City, they ought to go see the Portland Timbers play a match if they can do that? Would you agree with that? As I shout out Mike in Portland, who gave me this shirt, which I love.
It would be on my agenda, Tony.
Thank you very much.
It would certainly be on my agenda. I think the top 4 seeds in the West are the strongest of the top 4 seeds in any other region.
So that's your strongest region out there, Beanstar?
I think so. I think the top 4 in that region is the best group of 4.
Back to our phones we go. 865-200-5402. If you want to go back to our phones, the level of disgrace, the way they just treat these conference tournaments like they don't even exist. Why would you burn your? Never mind. Hello, welcome in. You're on our Monday edition.
Hey, good afternoon.
Hey, afternoon to you.
Yes, sir. I've got a closing I wanted to pass along.
Oh, we got a school closing since we've got some snow in the air.
All right.
Yeah. Did the Grant Perkins Wealth Management Seminar that was going to be held at the Charles Plaza Italian American Center will be canceled. There'll be no refunds. There'll be no refunds.
Very good. Well played by you. What do you think of Tennessee's draw? You high on the Vols coming into the tournament?
I am. I think we're going to see some old school Rick Barnes basketball. He's going to muddy it up and play some really good defense, and these teams are not going to see us. I'm looking for at least Sweet 16, if not Elite 8.
Wow.
Beautiful.
Yeah, I think he knows how to coach in this. I think you're going to see, this is what he's used to do.
I'll tell you this. If this team gets to the Sweet 16, it's a great coaching job. If it gets the Elite 8, we ought to have a parade downtown for him. Because that'd be an unbelievable coaching job with the club we have.
Yeah, I would say if you get to the Elite 8, this might be Rick Barnes' final year, maybe. But who knows? But, I like the hope springs eternal, and I think we're going to do very well.
Hey, why not? Yep.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, my friend. Good talking to you.
Yes, sir. You have a nice day.
Appreciate you. Thank you. Let's go back to our phones at 865-200-5402 so we get a school closing in. The all-everything school, what was the saying, Bri? Because I don't see him using the saying right. What's the thing? The everything school?
The everything school.
The Vandy beat us in everything school?
They're not going to beat us in softball, Tone.
And after next week, Bri, I hope they're not beating us in baseball. But the series is down there, Bino. So we have a chance for this to be the Vandy beat us in everything year, Bino.
Yeah, let's just hope this is a blip on the radar here, Tony, and get back to normal.
I don't think Vandy plays softball, do they, Bri? Do they have softball team?
They don't.
That's why I say that they're not going to beat us in softball.
See that? W. Lynn, he's
guaranteed.
He made a funniest. W. Lynn now joins the party.
How are my French compatriots doing today?
Welcome in, brother.
What's up, W. Lynn?
Yeah, that's grounds for throwing them out of the SEC in my book. They don't field a softball team.
I think we ought to field
nowhere to put a stadium.
I think we ought to field a gymnastics program. Yeah, they barely have enough room for their baseball stadium. They don't even have lavatories there, W. Lynn.
They could do like we did at Inskip Norwood Ballpark, just pull the bases up and move them in about 30 feet, run on the play softball on the baseball field.
So next level back in the day. I remember those days.
You had to move them for all the different age groups.
Yep. Bino, you remember that as a kid, how you had to play in the big ballpark and they would move the bases up, and it was so disorienting to your senses to do that.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I worked on the ball fields for 5 summers in Oak Ridge, Tony, and if it went from baseball to softball, you always had to move the bases.
Yep, we used to do that, and I'd ask my uncle, now, we going to measure these out? And he goes, nah, just eyeball them. And I was like, okay. We got to hurry. That 9 o'clock game's coming up. We got to hurry here.
Yeah.
Hey guys, one thing I think's crazy about this bracket. I'm okay with where we are, but speaking of them not watching the SEC tournament, how can you have 10 teams in from the SEC? We have 4 in our bracket, 3 in the West, 3 in the South, and 0 in the East, where Duke and Connecticut are. Shouldn't there be a rule that if you have 8 or more, you spread it out 2, 2, and 2 at least?
Yeah, WLN, I was a little bit surprised, and I'm sure they were trying to reward UConn by putting them closer to home in the East. But I thought that they would put Florida and UConn in the same region, simply because that was pretty clearly the last 4 in the first 5. But
right,
I guess
they
don't do those kind of things.
Yeah, when you get down below the 1 and 2 seeds, you ought to be able to spread these teams out from the same conference.
Yeah.
And another thing, we need to build, I guess, an arena in Chattanooga and have it apply for NCAA status for the first and second round every year, because they send 6 seed North Carolina, same seed as us, to Greenville, South Carolina. What's that, a 2-hour drive at most? I mean, it's like they might as well call that Greenville Arena the ACC NCAA Arena.
They've got Duke and Carolina there.
Yeah.
Not in the same
give
bracket,
me a break. You know, and I tell you what I wish they'd do. They have 8 sites for the first and second rounds. I know they'll never go to the top 16 teams, home sites. But they ought to have 16 sites with 4 teams in each site and geographically spread around, where you could at least drive to maybe your team's first or second round game. You could have 16 sites instead of the 8 we have now. What do you guys think about that?
Yeah, I mean, it would make perfect sense, WLN, to, after they went to the pod system, they tried their best to kind of keep teams closer to home. If you added those sites, then you could certainly accommodate more teams in that way.
And I look at some of the arenas too they pick. I mean, boy, Buffalo, New York, that's a hotbed area for college basketball. Give me a break.
Damn, WLN, you're on fire right now, like in Fuego.
I guess, WLN, I guess a lot of that's television stuff, in that they don't want to run 16 crews out somewhere to broadcast games.
Hey, we got a couple of guys they use. Who was that guy that called one of our games? Will Clark or something, or Perry
I
Clark.
love Perry Clark. My gosh, he's fantastic.
And they can get fish back, and we'll get enough crews for them. But I'm okay with where we are, guys. I hope I'm like you, Tony. We got a whole week. Let's kind of rest these guys. Let's don't do anything hard in practice.
They look pretty burned to the nub, WLN, didn't they?
They do. They do, and I can tell people, like I said, they might not officially be on an injury list or whatever, but they're not 100%, and we need everybody to 100%. If our team had ever been 100% all year, like it was, I guess, when we beat Louisville, the sky's the limit. But it's going to be tough to get further than the second round. I don't know a thing about Virginia, but I assume they're pretty good if we get out of the first round.
Yeah, they're pretty good. That's going to be a real handful for us. Now, it's a winnable game.
Yeah.
But we've got to have a consistent 40 minutes from everybody to win a game like that.
And, it doesn't take but a few wins to we play that silly neutral country above us, Kentucky.
There you go.
And, of all things, maybe that'll They can beat us twice during the regular season.
Uh-huh.
We'd have to beat them in that game.
Got a piece of news for you, W. Lynn. Kentucky's going home when they get on the floor with Santa Clara.
With Santa Clara.
Yeah, they will not. They're going to pack rather light for the tournament.
Well, I hope you're right, but if they don't, boy, I'd love to see Tennessee State upset Iowa State and then beat them.
There you go. Tennessee State over Kentucky. Where do I sign up for that? W. Lynn, thank you. Yeah, I think that, guys, let's just go through some of these games. I really think that Kentucky is going to be in trouble in the first round. They've kind of been begging for it all year, Bino, and I think they're going to get it. Friday in the first game. I want the Kentucky fan to understand this, okay? Kentucky.
The Mid-Cats.
Kentucky is a curtain jerker, okay? Y'all are an opening match. Y'all are a preliminary match now. True story. I'm just kind of spitballing last night when we're doing the draw show, trying to figure out, hey, because the first thing that you learn is the team and where they're going. So then you get on the air and you talk about it. And then invariably, when do you think we're going to play comes up. And you start looking at the other teams that were slated to play on Friday. Bino, silly me. The first thing I said is, they're probably going to want to take Kentucky and put them in prime time. And they're in Central Time anyway. So they could probably put them in that 8 o'clock time slot rather comfortably. And, get a pretty good TV number for it. No. 12:30 start. 11:30. I'm sorry. My bad. 12:15 start. 11:15 Central Time. You talk about somebody that's disappeared off the national landscape. You talk about a program that's yesterday's news. You talk about a program that's passé. You talk about a program that's over for. You talk about a program that doesn't matter. You talk about a program that's put the mid in mid and the mid in mid-cats. If that isn't mid, you tell me what that is. 11:15 local time? A curtain jerker on Friday? An opening round game? I mean, the only thing they didn't do is draw Frank Williams from Columbo, Ohio. I'm Frank Williams, Columbo, Ohio. I'm Frank Williams, Columbo, Ohio. Bino,
who the hell is that?
Exactly. He's a jobber wrestler. And Roddy Piper said to him, have you ever won a match? He goes, I get in that ring. He goes, yeah, you get in that ring, and you get beat every time you get in the ring. So Piper told him. I'm Frank Williams, Ohio. He said, and then Piper said to him, you ain't got no room for nobody. He goes, no, I don't run from nobody. Piper goes, you don't got no time for nobody. And then he proceeded to throw him through his, look up Frank Williams, look up Piper's Pit Frank Williams. You all will laugh. You don't have to be a wrestling fan. Bino, you would hee-haw laugh at that if you saw it.
I've watched some of those that you've seen.
Oh, with on
yeah, they're funny.
Columbo, Ohio. Bino, how about Kentucky going off at 12:15? I was so used to thinking about Kentucky mattering. Obviously, you don't matter when I'm putting you on at noon on a Friday.
Yeah, well, I mean, when we're unaccustomed to Kentucky being a 7 seed, Tony. So that is what it is. What site did they send Kentucky to? Where's Kentucky at, Brian?
They're in St. Louis.
St. Louis.
And think about this. That's going to be a tough ticket because you got Iowa State there, Purdue there. Missouri is just, they're 125 miles down the road, and they're in
Missouri?
They're a 10 seed.
How about Missouri as a 10 seed? How about Missouri as a 10, Bino, staying at home? How about that, Bino?
I don't think that they earned that by any stretch.
I don't quibble with the committee, though, because it's a tough job. Like W. Lynn's over here. He wants 16 different sites. I mean, W. Lynn, I love you. I'll tell you this, brother. I'm glad I'm not married to you. Because you complicate things. Can I say that, Bino, in love to him?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Because he probably thinks,
Lynn knows that.
He probably thinks I would love to be married to Basilio when he listens to me. He's probably thinking, man, I wish he was a woman. Basilio would make a really, you know, I'm sure I'm a big, fun guy to be around. Laura and I are getting ready to celebrate 35 years of this.
Congratulations.
On, let's see, the 23rd. Yep, 35 years.
23rd of this month?
Yeah.
Fantastic. Happy anniversary.
Back to the phones, 865-200-5402. Let's go back to our phones and get our next call in. Negadave owes us dinner, and I owe Negadave dinner because... So that might cancel out our dinner, Bino, because Negadave, he and I bet, he said Bishop Boswell will be the starting two guard. I said, in whose world? He was right. But then he doubled down and said something about total. What was his bet, Bri, about total wins with our team? Do you remember, Bri?
Tennessee would finish under 500 in the conference.
Yeah, 500 or worse. They finished 11-7. So,
I think he said under 500 because I believe we'd figured out if they finished 9-9, that was a push.
DJ Special Needs says Basilio will be selling 35 years. Laura, several question marks. Let's go to our phones. Hello and welcome in. Sammy said with 35 years, you get a lifetime contract. It's a pretty good line. Hello and welcome in. You're on our Monday edition. Hi.
I'm on.
You sure are.
Hey, man, boy Billy from Harriman. What's up, boys?
Hey, Billy boy. Welcome in.
Hey, like my girl Linda Perry once said, Tony B, what's going on, baby?
Linda Perry?
Hey, you ain't up on music as much as I thought, man. Look it up. Hey.
You mean from the band
I
Perry?
thought Marvin Gaye was what's going on.
Yeah, Marvin Gaye did What's Going On.
More than one people got a saying, bro. Hey.
Oh, is she for non-blondes?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
We play that song. I love that song. That song goes like this. Hang on. I'll do this. YouTube won't blast us. We play this song. Let's say it goes. Let's say it goes. That's a great tune. So that's her name, huh? Linda Perry.
I thought you knew music, dude. All you know is ball.
Did she write that?
Ball.
Did she write that?
Yeah.
That's a great song. Hey,
incredible song.
Yay, yay. That's a great song, man.
All right, man. Hey, according to you, sounds like Kentucky's going to be playing their first game in some Jordan 1 mids. You know what I'm saying?
No question. They're going to bring back those jorts they had earlier in the year. Did they play us, Brian, in those jorts, or was I imagining that and still beat us?
Yeah, I think that was jort night.
Mm-hmm.
All right, man. But it's tournament mode, man. I love my BYU boys. So I was reading up about their $7 million man, DeBonce. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
I'm on YouTube. The BYU is, a little different culture out there, bro. They got some weird stuff going on, unique stuff. The Mormons, I love them.
Yes.
But, man, I'm watching DeBonce, then I'm watching some video of BYU, then I'm in the dorm rooms, interviews in the student hall, all that. I mean, they keep talking about something called a NCMA, NCMA, what it stands for, non-committal makeout. All them BYU students kept talking about it, man. And I'm just saying, man, funny phrase, but I wouldn't mind one myself, you know what I'm saying?
Well, I mean, around here they call
makeout.
They call it friends of benefits. Hey, here's the other thing. Did you guys realize that former Vol great Lou Evans is getting ready to be on, I want to say, The Bachelorette?
Yes, he is.
And The Bachelorette this time around is a Mormon gal who was on the Real Housewives of, like, Salt Lake City or the Real Mormon. I don't follow all that stuff. Anyway, apparently she's an apple, a pear, and a plum, and a peach. And apparently she's a real piece of work, if you will. And Lou Evans is going to be vying for her hand here at the end of this. Will you watch that? Will you watch Lou Evans?
I will not watch that, but I wanted to touch about something I did watch, which might have been the biggest thing of the weekend that nobody's been talking about.
Hit it.
My girl, Jordan Hudson. Cheers for Charity National Championship Team Competition. Jordan Bill B's Hot Young Thing National Championship over the weekend. I watched that on my free Tubi trial this weekend, man. And, she was killing out there. And if I go down that Bill Belichick path, I'm not saying I won't. My wife, she's going to be born here in about 8 years. You know what I'm saying? Hey, I got to get back to work. Y'all be good, Tom.
Boy, Bill, he's saying. Did Jordan Hudson really cheer over the weekend, Bri? It sounds like something you'd know.
I don't know who that is.
Hoosier Vol said, I'm going to assume that this guy... I can't say that. How about my man, Lou Evans? My man, Bino.
Sweet Lou.
Let's go, man. He can't be, well.
You think he'll get to the Final Four, finally?
Yeah.
Interesting. Was he, I don't remember, was he?
Maybe he can get to a Final Four.
Was he a pretty good player here, Bri?
He seemed to be like a stretch forward that could shoot the three, that was a post player, like, I think, kind of a slower version of Fulkerson, but he was pretty effective when they played him.
He was a stretch, all right. Hello and welcome.
He played with Grant Williams Grant's freshman year, I think.
He kind of blew. Hello and welcome in. You're on the air.
Blue Evans.
Hey, Tony, it's Zach.
Hey, Zachy, what's up?
Boy, Billy, that's a tough act to follow.
Yes.
Are you going to be watching this Bachelor? Are you going to be having bachelor parties or bachelorette parties or whatever they call that show?
I literally,
all the people.
I wouldn't watch that if you took my eyelids and propped them open with toothpicks. I would figure out a way to roll my eyeballs into the back of my head.
I can proudly say I have never watched a single episode of any Real Housewives.
No.
Any Bachelor.
Listen, I listen to wrestling podcasts, so I'm not going to judge anybody for anything. I watch Spring League football. I watch National Lacrosse League. I'm not judging anybody for anything they watch, but I'm not going to sit there and watch that nonsense. That's got to be that. You have to feel like somebody's taking your brain and pulling it out of your head and then putting it back in your head.
Yeah.
Right?
As Tony Soprano said, that's what's turning these kids' minds into mush nowadays.
There you
go. Let me ask you something. Why? And I saw somebody make a comment in the YouTube thing saying that Darius Acup's in a walking boot most of those days. Why are we so fragile and in need of rest for this particular team? Is it just, are we not conditioned right? Because this Medenwall guy has really had a pretty nice run without getting injuries. And I'm just curious as to why we need so much rest.
Well, you have nagging injuries. I mean, that's why. And look, with these high-end guys, you need them out there.
Yeah.
You need.
I'm dealing with Achilles tendonitis right now, and I feel. I get it. Trust me.
Yeah.
But these are 22. Yeah.
Well, no. These are highly tuned athletes going 1,000,000 miles an hour, jumping and cutting.
What do you think I am?
Any type of injury, though, like that on these guys, that's why you put them in a walking boot. That's why they have masseuses around the clock to try to keep their muscles loose, to keep them out there. Look, this thing about Nate Ament's soft, or Nate Ament's not soft. Nate Ament's
I've never said that.
No, I'm saying anybody that would say it. Nate Ament's been beat up all year, and he plays to contact. He tries to initiate contact.
He seeks it out.
Yes, he's a very tough guy.
I agree.
Zach, it's college basketball in March. We don't have any problems that other people don't have. that are still playing.
Yeah. Except that we have a short roster and a team that wasn't built well, and our two of our key players are pretty beat up. But other than that, it's great.
Yeah, it's great. Other than all that horrible stuff you guys have been talking about.
Look, Arkansas has a lot more team around Acuff than we have around our freshmen. Do we agree with that?
Oh, no doubt.
Yeah.
Which just makes me wonder. I don't know if it's just me, but it seems like we're always a shooter short. Even when we had Lanier, or even, and it wasn't really because we didn't bring anybody in, but like the Connect year, that's when Vescovi went into his kind of little funk.
Really strange.
Lanier, we had Lanier, but really, Lanier was our only shooter last year, and we had one of the European guys we didn't mention was Isevic last year, who was supposed to be like a stretch guy, and he never really panned out. But as Josh says, on the way out, in 1986, I was lucky enough. My dad, who was a wonderful man, he sent me a wrestling WWF up here in Bristol.
Wow!
And the card was Hulk Hogan. I want to say Junkyard Dog, and a guy named the Dingo Warrior. I didn't know this until a couple years ago. Do you know who the Dingo Warrior became?
Yeah, sure. That's the Ultimate Warrior, Jim Hellwig.
The Ultimate Warrior. Yeah. I saw the Ultimate Warrior in '86 up here in Bristol before he was the Ultimate Warrior.
You may have also seen Ricky the Dragon Steamboat, who now lives in Maryville and is a big Vol fan who comes to a lot of things.
I'll take that. Boy, there's a lot of Vol wrestling connections.
Oh, are you kidding?
And Mr. Fuji that worked at the
I loved Harry. I got to know Harry when he was here. He was so fun. What a great guy.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Thank you, Thanks, man.
Tony.
I miss Harry. Harry Fujiwara. When I would get him on, I go, Harry, why don't you do a little bit of that dark side? He go, Fuji-san said, Tony. He would do this whole little bit. He could really get into it. Really quiet man. And wrestling had really destroyed his hips. He could barely get around. Those guys pay a price for that.
Oh, boy.
That's rough, Bino. Polly Joe's next vet appointment, Bino asked the following. Would you rather your son play football for Georgia, basketball for Bama, or softball with Dave? Bino, you can speak to that. You've seen Dave on a softball field.
Dave was an excellent softball player. Excellent.
Would you rather your son play football for Georgia, basketball for Bama, or softball with Dave? You didn't answer the question.
I'd rather my son play softball with Dave.
Back to the phones we go. Hello and welcome in. You're on our...
I think that the great snapper used to say he'd rather have a sister working in a brothel as a brother playing football at Alabama.
Let's freaking go. Hello and welcome in. You're on the air.
Tony?
Yes.
It's Magnum.
Hey, Maggie.
What's up, Maggie?
Shout out to Maggie, too. Don Nathan's Maggie. Shout out, Maggie.
And speaking of softball, I mean,
Oh, no. Here we go.
Remember going and watching my dad's games when I was in diapers and Bino out there.
Oh, no.
They're all in the leather.
Is that true?
He and my dad played softball.
Really? Is that really true?
My dad was really young when I was born. Yeah.
I would venture to say that Bino, because you view those people when you're a kid as really star athletes. I would say that Bino was probably a champion in your eyes at one point, right?
Oh, yeah. And then he was still playing when I got to play.
You were a champion in their eyes.
And Bino was still playing when I got to play.
Yep. Champion in your eyes.
After high school.
Yep.
But what I called about, Tony, is we got to talking, a friend of mine down here, about what, that we would watch the games sometimes during the day. The teachers, we had that, we had TVs in the room, and the one that I remember the most Yeah.
Like they've never been in a game. They had oh God, who was it?
And they lost 63-53.
And that annoying Jay Billis was on that team. That was annoying AF. They scored 53 points. It was absolutely disgusting. It was I'll tell you this. I can still remember what that day felt like when we walked outside. We were shooting hoops back there behind where Melrose, not Melrose, but back there. God, what was that dorm, guys, that was right next to where Hess was? Bino, you remember that they had a little courtyard in there that had a basketball court. But I can still remember the feeling of pain. When you have really high hopes in March,
yeah,
and they get dashed, like last year's Tennessee team, when you go out there and you face Houston and you get beat in that game, imagine if you played in that game and played like you've never played before. It's one thing to play and lose. 2 years in a row, Tennessee didn't play badly. They just ran into better basketball teams. Imagine losing to that crappy Duke team we did. It was disgusting.
Yeah, but like Hersey Hawkins and Bradley, they played Auburn. They were an 8-9 deal.
Old Hershey Hawkins.
Okay, but it was a hell of a game.
Yep.
And Auburn had Chris Morris, and it was
love Chris Morris.
But like Hersey Hawkins, I didn't even realize he's still a top 10 all-time scorer in college basketball.
He was an unbelievable player at Bradley.
He averaged like 30-something points a game.
He was unfreaking real at Bradley.
Yeah, and what surprised me, I knew Kansas won it that year. Danny and the Miracles. They were a 6 seed, and they had a coach who'd been a long time good coach who couldn't get over the hump.
Yep.
It's a sign, Tony.
Thank you, my friend. Good talking to you.
We're winning it all, putting the nets down.
Okay. Hey, I'm all. Bino's all for it. Bry's all, and I got time for it. I'm going to say for the record, I got 6 long Garza Law post-game shows. We'll do 3 hours a night. If you promise me we'll win it, we'll do 3 hours a night. Melrose Hall. Thank you, Grim. I knew it was Melrose. I said Melrose, right? Yeah, Melrose
Hall.
You
did say Melrose.
And I thought,
Tony, it's interesting you would talk about your experience after Temple got beat.
Yep.
I did the same thing. The day Syracuse beat Tennessee's team, we went out, and I always went home on the weekends, so I wasn't on campus.
Yep.
But we went out to play basketball after that game, and my buddy said, listen, you're always mad when Tennessee gets beat. This is the first time I've ever seen you totally despondent. And I told him, we can live to be 100 years old. We will never, ever see 2 players here at the same time like Bernard and Ernie. And I'm 70% of the way there, and that's still true.
Amen to that, brother. And I'll tell you this, when you have a great team and you know you have greatness in front of you and you get beat in that tournament, I don't think there's a worse feeling in sports. And I think that whoever coined the term March Madness is great because it stays with you It gnaws at you. James Daniels in here saying, look, we played awfully against Houston last year. Look, Houston, you weren't going to beat them. You just weren't. And you have to say that. You know, when you face a team that's physically better than you, they're just physically better than you. And he said, and no one except Kinect and Estrella showed up against Purdue. Okay, that's Derek Dooley noted. Here's the problem. They don't call 3 seconds in college basketball anymore, and they haven't for several years. And Purdue had a kid that lived in the lane 10 seconds at a time that was 9 feet tall, and nobody could handle him. And so we have to come to grips with that as well. But when you're better than somebody, clearly better, and you lose in that tournament, and I'm not sure either one of those Elite Eights qualifies that. Now, that Pearl team came closer than any team in school history to go into the Elite Eight. And they were a couple of missed foul shots away from it, or going to the Final Four, rather.
Final Four.
And they were a missed front end of a 1-and-1, which Brian loved so much, away from it. And, you know, the pain of that, I was in much more pain that Sunday afternoon after we got beat by Michigan State than I was the last 2 times. I was in much more pain the night we lost to Purdue up in Louisville than I was the last 2 times we got beat in the Elite Eight. I appreciated getting an Elite Eight the last couple of years. They lost to better teams, in my mind. I mean, it's all in the eye of the beholder. That night, Tennessee let that white flight Purdue team beat them was just unbelievable. And you know why it was unbelievable? Because Purdue is a bigger choker in March than we are coming into that deal. That's fact. And we opened the door. Did they go to the Final Four that year, Bri? Because the joke's always on us in March.
Virginia beat them miraculously in the Elite Eight, and then they miraculously got past Auburn and won.
That's exactly right. That was the year, because that's a year that we got demolished by that Auburn team after beating Kentucky. I'll never forget that as long as I live. We beat Kentucky in one of the greatest basketball games you'll ever see. You could take that thing and put it in a time capsule and say, this is what college basketball was, and show that thing 100 years from now.
I'll tell you, a painful one for me was when you let Sister Jean's team,
unbelievable,
who couldn't play, the bracket opened up for you.
Yeah, unbelievable.
And you lose your center, who would have ate that guy's lunch that plays for Loyola.
Unbelievable.
And you could have easily got through that bracket.
Unbelievable.
And gotten to the Final Four.
That guy that beat us at center looked like meat from Porky's, and they just kept feeding him.
If Kyle gets hurt, no one would even know who Sister Jean is today.
He looked like an absolute Bino. That guy looked like an absolute goon that would have played on an NBA roster in the 80s when everybody had a white center, just to balance out the roster for some reason. You remember those days, Bino, the white goon? Who were some of the Celtics white goons when you were watching it back then, Bino? Can you recall that? Was Scott Wegman one of them, Bino?
Yeah,
Brad
Scott
Lowhouse
Wegman was one.
Brad Lowhouse, he really contributed. Bill Walton at the end of his career. He wasn't a white goon. Bill Walton was incredible, but shame his body didn't cooperate.
Hank Finkel.
The NBA back in the day, this is true now. The NBA, if you look it up, and the biggest violator of it was the Milwaukee Bucks, who had guys like Paul McKeskey. God, what was the other guy's name? There were
Bill Laimbeer was
them.
One.
Well, Laimbeer could play.
But
now he could play.
But he was a goon too.
He was an all-star level player, though. Anyway, we'll come back on the other side. 865-200-5402. We shouldn't have lost to Purdue with that team we had. That team should have gone to the Final Four. When you have a 3-time All-American, when you have a Grant Williams on your roster in college basketball, you should figure out a way to coach them to the Final Four. And especially a pretty good backcourt that we had. A team was lacking nothing. The team was number one for a month in the sport. Agree or disagree, Bino? I think that was our best chance.
Agree.
And that's painful. I remember sitting there with Greg Bell doing the post-game show out there at corner 16 of the wee small hours of the morning, and we were the last two people left, and the manager on duty, the GM. And we just we knew that was an awful, 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 awful loss. James Daniel says 2019 Tennessee team not as good as our – it's not what we're arguing. Not as good as our last two teams. Not arguing that. I'm arguing opportunity against the field. What's in front of you? I'm not arguing. And by the way, I could argue with you on that if we wanted to argue. But I'm not arguing that. I'm arguing best chance. See, that's what's unique about the tournament. The tournament is year to year, what's your – like, this is a good draw. I wish I had confidence in these guys to think they had a run in them. I don't know that I do. I don't know that I don't, but I don't know that I do. I haven't filled out my bracket yet. We did one last night, Bino, and we had the Vols getting beat Sunday in our bracket. Do you blame us?
I do not.
By the way, Billy Jarvis listening to us. Your goon in the 80s, Bino, that you brought with you was Greg Kite.
Yes.
And that's the thing about goons.
Thank you, Billy J.
When you remember them, they make you laugh. And why did you laugh when he said Greg Kite, Bino?
Because these guys are big stiffs that you run in there to bang people around.
They're ugly human beings, too.
And then you get them out.
Yes. They're ugly human beings. Unless you're Josh Elander, and then Greg Kite play 40 minutes for you.
Hey, I'm Alan, and we ship floors on Bristol Highway in Johnson City. Are you tired of walking around on that ratty-looking carpet that you have? Well, today's your lucky day because we have Supercore on sale for $1.79. 58 colors we're liquidating. Supercore is the best waterproof floor with a lifetime warranty. Where are you going to find that anywhere else? Nowhere, let me tell you. $1.79, lifetime warranty. Come on down to Bristol Highway on your truck and trailer and let's make a deal.
You got to dream about buying some land and building on that land. Well, Waterside Contracting is your ticket. 25 years of making dreams come true, Michael Scott. For hundreds in our area, custom homes or remodels, Waterside Contracting will build on your lot. They do incredible work all over the area. Structural integrity, quality without compromise. It's a way of life with Waterside Contract. Check out the wonderful work Waterside does. WatersideContractingLLC.com. When it's time for your dreams to come true. Quality without compromising. Waterside Contracting.
College football fans, Chris Fowler here with the play call. This season, go for Dose with ice-cold, refreshing Dos Equis. It's more than a single play. It's a mindset. Think of it as a 2-point conversion for real life. Taking the risk, making the bold move. Whenever we get the chance to go big, we take it. On the field and off, always go for Dose with Dos Equis.
Enjoy Dos Equis responsibly. Copyright 2024 Dos Equis Lager Especial Beer. Imported by Cervezas Mexicanas, White Plains, New York.
Hi, I'm Jim Simpson, owner of Simpson Meats. When's the last time you grilled a really good burger or steak? One your friends still talk about. Our goal at Simpson Meats is to make that happen every time you have a cookout. All of our cuts of meats, steaks, burgers, briskets, and pork are always fresh, flavorful, and sustainably sourced. We are family owned, so we know the importance of knowing how and where your food is raised. We have been putting quality first since 1888. Visit our butcher shop off Lovell Road or online at simpsonmeats.com.
Tony Basilio along with the great Mark Griffin. And we're here to talk about our friends at Performance Medicine. And Griff, their slogan, stay educated, stay healthy. That's you.
Wow. I really like to think that, Tony, and I'd like to give Dr. Rogers a lot of credit because I definitely want to stay educated and healthy, and knowing that he's putting the time and effort in to make sure of my care. I want to encourage your listeners to put the time to learn and become educated and get to know Dr. Rogers and see if it can help with your health as well.
And there's a really, really easy way to do that. In fact, they've got their own YouTube channel. You can see Dr. Rogers for himself with his staff staff. It's called The Performance Medicine Show over at the Performance Medicine channel over on YouTube. Also, more information at performancemedicine.net. To our friends in North Knoxville, a brand new location over in Fountain City, now accepting patients. So many ways to reach Dr. Rogers. And like they say, stay educated, stay healthy. Performance Medicine, online, performancemedicine.net.
Located in Knoxville's historic Old City, Barley's offers great food, live music, the best draft beer selection in town, and now your new favorite place to watch sports. Their indoor projector is perfect for any weather, and they've revamped their upstairs area with more TVs to take in all of the action. Their menu features hand-battered chicken tenders, juicy burgers, fresh salads, and the tastiest pizza in Knoxville. You can enjoy their happy hour drink specials daily from open until 6 p.m. Barley's Tap Room and Pizzeria.
Tony Basilio here, and I got the great Chad Stockton of FC Alliance 2026. Chad, do you believe we've made it?
Boys and girls teams start off the new year at big national event showcases. We got our younger kids training indoors and doing a lot of things to get better. So we're excited about what the future holds.
Chad, I hear the juice behind you. I hear the kids. Your program reaches throughout East Tennessee. If folks want to get involved, what's the advice?
We're easy to get in touch with. We offer players at all ages, all levels, all experience. We have a program for all of our kids that we have, and we're excited for anyone to join us.
And even some Lady Vols as well. Several college players all over the country, yes?
Absolutely. We had a lot of girls that we were able to watch play in the NCAA tournament. A lot of our former players made big runs through the tournament. We're so excited for them.
Growing the beautiful game in this